Kaduna State Governorship Election Tribunal orders rerun in 24 polling units. Lawyers divided over judgment. NLC says no agreement with federal government to suspend strike. And away from Nigeria, 14-year-old stabs 3 teachers and 2 students at Spanish school. These are the headlines on Trust News Update. I am Ayuba Ila. Thanks for joining. The Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Kaduna has declared the 2023 governorship election in the state inconclusive, ordering rerun in 24 polling units in 4 local government areas. In a split decision among the MAN panel, 2 justices of the tribunal declared the election inconclusive and directed that a supplementary election should be held by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) within 90 days. The tribunal is led by Justice Victor Ovwawe. However, counsel for Governor Ubasani Sanusi Musa SAN told reporters that the tribunal had dismissed the petition.
The summary of the judgment is simple. The tribunal has dismissed the petition filed by the PDP. That is the ruling of the tribunal in the morning. But you know, by the provision of the Constitution, they are required to also consider the petition on merit. So on merit, 2 of them said that election is supposed to be conducted in 22 polling units because the number of the voters there exceed the margin of lead. But they have said that the PDP wanted it to be declared as the winner of the election. The tribunal said that they have no proof that. They allege that there are corrupt practices perpetrated by APC. They said they have no proof that. So in essence, as of today, the PDP petition is dismissed by the tribunal. Unless PDP appeal to the Court of Appeal, then we now know what will happen there. But the petition has been dismissed.
Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has fixed October 23rd for judgment in a suit filed by Senator Smart Adeyemi challenging the conduct of the primary election of the All Progressives Congress for the Kogi State governorship election. Adeyemi is challenging the validity of the election which produced Usman Ododo as APC's flag bearer for the November 11 governorship election. Adeyemi, who recently represented Kogi West Senatorial District in the Senate, is claiming that the result brought out by APC in support of Ododo was fraudulent and invalid on the ground that the primary election was conducted in only 11 out of the 239 wards in the state. At the day's hearing of the appeal, counsel to Adeyemi, Musibao Adetumbi, adopted his briefs and prayed the court to grant the relief sought by Adeyemi on the grounds that the primary election of April 14 was conducted in gross violation of Section 84 of the Electoral Act 2022. After taking the arguments from the Adeyemi, APC, Ododo and INEC, Justice Inyang Okoro announced that the final judgment will be delivered on October 3rd, 2023. The Supreme Court has on Thursday dismissed the appeal by the governorship aspirant of the All Progressives Congress in Kogi State, Abubakar Achimugu, seeking to nullify the primary that produced Usman Ododo as APC governorship candidate for the November 11 governorship election in the state. The appeal was dismissed by a panel of Supreme Court justices led by Justice Inyang Okoro. A federal high court had declined Achimugu's prayers aching to disqualify Ododo on the ground that he did not resign his employment with the Kogi State Public Service 30 days before contesting the governorship primary election. Dissatisfied with the judgment, he approached the Court of Appeal, which also held in a unanimous judgment that the appeal challenging the judgment of the Federal High Court in Abuja lacked merit and dismissed it accordingly. At the Supreme Court hearing of the appeal, Achimugu's lawyer said that the respondents did not resign their appointments, but later agreed that they resigned. The Supreme Court queried the appellant's counsel on why his issues for determination in the appellant's brief did not have any challenge as to why the decision of both the Federal High Court and the Court of Appeal should be voided. The controversy around the handling of insecurity in Zamfara State by the state and the federal government on the politicization of security is polarizing views of residents in the state. A cross-section of residents, while speaking to Trust TV, say that the face-off between the state and the federal government is counterproductive to the development of the state. The report.
A rift between the federal government and Zamfara State on negotiation with the leaders of bandits groups came to the fore after the abduction of students of the Federal University, Gusau. The Zamfara State government on its part rejected the idea of negotiating with bandits, while the federal government has already engaged some leaders of different bandit groups in discussion to secure the leads of the students.
Bandits have been disturbing us in this our area. This has forced me and my family to leave our hometown to this place, and we have been here for almost 2 years. All my children are here. I have 4 kids, and we all live together. The story we hear from home are not pleasant at all, because bandits invade our towns, kidnap people and take them to the bush and then request for ransom. We no longer rear animals, because bandits have packed them all and taken them to the bush.
While some residents welcome the idea of dialoguing with bandits, others support applying kinetic approach to end the menace. They are of the opinion that several negotiations have been carried out by previous administration in the state, but did not yield positive results, hence the need to face the bandits squarely through the use of maximum force.
We're calling on the government to fulfill the promises he made to the youths during his campaign. He said he was going to help people and fight against poverty, and up till now, we haven't seen anything. Today we are refugees. Government has set aside money to fight banditry, and it doesn't seem to be working. They should use this money and help us refugees. It is lack of employment that is making youths engage in these illegal activities. We are calling on the government to come to our aid, create job opportunities, and also give us capital to start businesses, so we will not beg. If negotiating with the bandits will bring peace, then so be it.
Activities of bandits became so pronounced in Zamfara State in the recent times, with a series of abductions and attacks on many communities in the rural areas across the states. Hundreds of innocent citizens have deserted their respective towns and villages for fear of attack by the bandits. The residents expect a genuine collaboration between the two governments to restore peace in the state, to enable them go about their daily activities without apprehension.
As for me, negotiating with bandits is not the right thing to do. They have done it not once, not twice, and still yet nothing to show for it. Even after the negotiation, they killed my in-laws. So for me, negotiating is not necessary. I'm calling on the government to fight these bandits. You will be in your house and bandits will come and kill you. May God continue to help our governor.
Reports have it that the rift between the two governments is affecting only the masses that are being attacked and displaced by the dreaded bandits almost on daily basis. Yusho Adamu, Trust TV, Gusau.
Suspected commercial motorcycle riders on Wednesday lynched a 30-year-old taxi driver, Fuembe Thomas, around Tudunwada community of Jos North local government area of Plateau State. A source from the scene of the incident told journalists that the incident occurred after the deceased driver was alleged to have brushed a commercial motorcycle rider with his vehicle in the area, a situation that angered the motorcyclist who beat the deceased to death. Reports say that Thomas was, after the mob action, found lying in a pool of his own blood. The spokesperson of the State Police Command, DSP Alabo Alfred, who confirmed the incident, explained that photographs of the victim were taken while the vehicle was towed to the station and the body of the victim deposited at the Plateau State Specialist Hospital, where he was confirmed dead by a medical doctor. Alfred noted that efforts are on top gear to apprehend the killers of Fuembe Thomas and assured residents that the perpetrators of the dastardly act will not evade justice, as there is no hiding place for evildoers in the state. Meanwhile, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurit Lagbaja, has given personnel of the Operation Safe Haven a multi-security task force maintaining peace in Plateau State 48 hours to fish out the killers of the Fulani leader in Panyam. The commander of the operation, Major General Abdul Salam Abubakar, disclosed this when he visited the district head of Panyam, Da Aminu Darwam, on Tuesday. Ado Musa completes the story.
The Fulani leader, whose body is yet to be recovered, was allegedly killed by yet to be identified criminals on Saturday in Panyam community of Mongu local government area of the state when he was returning from a visit. Abubakar, who doubles as the General Officer commanding 3 Division, Rukuba Barak, described the act as unfortunate, adding that the operation would do everything possible to get the perpetrators arrested.
Now this weekend, we had a very sad incident in Panyam. And if we don't immediately try to nip that in the bud, it will make all the gains that we have made, in the last couple of months fade away. And that is why I am here today. Yesterday, I briefed the Chief of Army Staff, and he has given us 48 hours that we must fish out the perpetrators that assassinated the Ardo of Panyam.
The district head of the area thanked the commander for the visit and promised to collaborate with security agencies to arrest the criminals, describing the incident as shocking, considering the fact that both Fulani and the locals had coexisted peaceful for years.
You have come at the right time. This is a period we have long been waiting for as a community. This thing happened, in fact, it sounds strange to us as a community. This is a community that has been living in peace over the years, particularly with the Fulanis. Some of us were when we were born, we met their parents.
While condemning the incident, the Army General emphasized that the military and other security agencies will not relent in their effort towards stemming the spate of insecurity in the state. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
The Nigeria Labour Congress says no agreement has been reached with the federal government to call off the October 3rd indefinite nationwide strike. NLC's head of Information and Public Affairs, Benson Upa, said this in a statement on Thursday, countering a statement by the Ministry of Labour and Employment. Upa also said that the NLC did not have any date for a meeting with the government that may lead to the suspension of the proposed strike. The NLC also faulted the position of the Ministry of Labour and Employment on the leadership of the National Union of Road Transport Workers. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi has asked the organized labor to respect the June 5 order issued by the National Industrial Court restraining the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress from embarking on any industrial action over fuel subsidy removal and related issues. In a letter to the NLC, TUC and Femi Falana, Fagbemi said that the plan by both labor bodies to embark on an indefinite strike from October 3rd was a violation of the subsisting order and a different disregard to the dignity and integrity of the court. The AGF urged Falana to prevail on his clients to respect the order of the court and allow room for ongoing negotiations between parties on how to address the challenges associated with the fuel subsidy removal. He noted that from the communique issued by the NLC after its National Executive Council meeting on August 31 and the September 26 joint communique by the presidents of the NLC and TUC, It was obvious that the proposed strike action is premised principally in furtherance of issues connected with the removal of fuel subsidy, hike in fuel price, and consequential matters of making provisions for palliatives and workers' welfare. He reminded them that a court order, regardless of the opinion of any party on it, remains binding and enforceable until set aside. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up shortly. Jail committee pardons woman serving 18 months for stealing pot. Details and more after the break. Welcome back. This is the news update on Trust TV. A look at the top story. Kaduna State Governorship Election Tribunal orders rerun in 24 polling units. Lawyers divided over judgment. In other news, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps in Rivers State has dismantled a newly built illegal refinery at Umuechem in Eche local government area of the state. State Commandant of the Corps, Basil Igwebweze, says that the anti-vandal unit uncovered the site through credible intelligence. The report.
The raid, which took place in Umuechem, Eche local government area of Rivers State, where the illegal refinery is built, is part of the fight against crude oil theft and pipeline vandalism by officers of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. Officials say the team recovered 20,000 liters capacity receiver open tank, 25 liters cooking pot, and 4-inch galvanized pipes. Speaking with newsmen at the illegal refinery site, spokesperson of the command, Olufemi Ayodele, explained that the site was discovered by the anti-vandal unit of the command. He promised that the officials of the command will ensure that all illegal refineries are destroyed.
It has a negative and a debilitating effect on the environment, causes environmental hazard, causes pollution, and you can imagine if this activity should succeed in this particular environment, it spreads across board. There will be pollution of the air.
The head of the anti-vandal, Peters Ibiso, explained how the illegal refineries works.
They'll connect from the pipeline, tap from the pipeline, vandalize it, then feed this one. When they feed this oven, it's from here they boil. It's from here they boil, They use different mechanisms. They can use gas, they can use wood to boil. As they boil, just like the conventional refinery, fractional distillation.
Meanwhile, the state commandant, Basil Igwe Bueze, has promised to make the state uncomfortable for illegal oil dealers.
We will always rely on actionable intelligence from the public to aid us in our activities, because we act on prompt intelligence, and it is intelligence that drives our operation.
The commandant maintained that the NSCDC has a clear statutory mandate to safeguard critical national assets and infrastructure across the Federation, assuring that Rivers State Command will not be deterred or distracted by the activities of oil thieves in the state.
A food vendor from Sheleng local government area of Adamawa State, Ramatu Adamu, earlier convicted of stealing a pot, wrapper and cooler from her sister's house in Numan, has been discharged by the Adamawa Jail Delivery Committee. She told the Adamawa JDC that she stole the pot and the wrapper due to hunger. Ramatu had been sentenced to 1.5-year jail term by the Chief Magistrate Court, Numan, on August 11, but was released by the committee after she pleaded guilty to the offense and attributed it to hunger. During her appearance before the committee, Ramatu informed the committee that she was a food vendor in Gombe and had visited her sister in Numan, where she committed the crime. She expressed regret over her actions and pleaded with the committee to pardon her so that she could return to Gombe to continue with her business. The committee, chaired by Adamawa State Chief Judge Justice Hafsat Abdurrahman, reviewed her case and discharged her with a warning to desist from any criminal activity in the future. The committee also presented Ramatu with 10,000 naira to help her set up a business upon her return to Gombe. Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima has assured Nigerians that their sacrifices will not be in vain, saying that the promises made by the Tinubu administration will be fulfilled. Shettima gave the assurance on Thursday at a public lecture to commemorate Nigeria's 63rd independence anniversary at the State House Banquet Hall, Abuja. He said President Bola Tinubu's administration is committed to building a country where the economic independence of each citizen is guaranteed and where none of them has to depend on unspecified handouts to earn a living. According to him, while this year's anniversary offers Nigeria another opportunity to acknowledge the cross-regional bonds that have kept the country standing as Africa's most populous nation and largest economy, the Vice President noted that the future of a great nation is not determined by the occurrence of socio-economic challenge, but by the intention, sincerity, and innovative ideas of its leaders and their commitment to implementing them.
Such solidarity with our economic revival strategy, from the bustling streets of Lagos to the serene landscape of Enugu, has inspired our focus on diverse sectors, from agriculture to digital technology, from healthcare to education. We knew from the starting point of this race to serve the people that the track will not be without its holes and ponds. We knew that challenges will arise and obstacles will test our resolve. But as our history has shown, Nigerians are too ambitious to be broken by a temporary setback. We are going to emerge from this phase of our reform stronger, each of us with renewed hope.
Where necessary, relevant national think tank institutions, such as the National Institute for Strategic Studies, NIPS, and the Nigerian Institute for Social and Economic Research, NISO, would be engaged to deepen the articulation.
In a similar vein, Vice President Kashim Shettima on Thursday presided over this month's National Economic Council meeting at the council chambers of the Presidential Villa in Abuja. The council discussed issues around Nigerian economy, especially updates on issues relating to palliatives for Nigerians and wage awards for workers, among others. The meeting, which kicked off this afternoon, had in attendance the governors of Osun, Lagos, Katsina, Nasarawa, Katsina, Kaduna, Plateau, Benue, and the deputy governor of Zamfara, among others. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, that of Budget National Planning, Atiku Bagudu, and his counterpart in the Ministry of Agriculture, Abubakar Kyari, and other key federal government appointees also attended the meeting. Now, away from Nigeria, a 14-year-old boy described by fellow pupils as hot-headed on Thursday stabbed 3 teachers and 2 students in a school in southern Spain before being overpowered, police said. The boy, who has not been named, allegedly stabbed the 5 victims repeatedly shortly after classes started at the school in Jerez de la Frontera. Police spokesman Andrea Dominguez told reporters at the scene. The spokesman was unable to comment on the extent of the injuries, but Spanish media said one teacher was in serious condition after being stabbed in the eye, while the rest suffered light injuries. The attack caused alarm in Spain, where violent crime is fairly rare. And in sports news, the 2023 edition of the Nigerian National Chess Championship has been scheduled for October 2 to October 9, 2023 in Lagos. A statement from the organizers, Orchid Lekki Chess Club, says that the championship will feature an elite invitational section where 24 of the best chess players in Nigeria will compete for the Nigerian National Chess Champion and Nigerian National Women's Chess Champion titles. It adds that hundreds of players and thousands of visitors will participate in the annual chess event, which runs for 8 days. The winners of these titles will represent Nigeria at the 2024 Africa Individual Chess Championship. The 24 players in this section went through a rigorous selection and qualification process, which includes a Nigeria National Chess Championship qualifiers tournament. The Nigeria National Chess Championship, which is the biggest and most important chess event in Nigeria, is the determinant of the Nigeria National Chess Champion and the Nigeria National Women's Chess Champion. And that's it for the news update. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube live stream. I am Ayuba Ila. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.